Hi, welcome to Jazzism Yoga. This is day 1 of our 5-day series, 15-minute yoga for digestion. Today's practice is designed to support your digestive system and your nervous system. No props are needed today, but props are always welcome. Begin to settle in, coming into a superhero pose, and begin to connect to your breath. Inviting in kindness and compassion in this moment. Inhaling in and exhaling out at your own pace. You are worthy of compassion. When you are ready, I invite you to place your hands on your thighs and begin to massage your thighs. And maybe incorporating your shoulders, rolling out the shoulders at this time, doing this at your own pace, and connecting to your breath. And opposite direction, getting to know what feels right in your body. Maybe this direction might feel a little bit different than the previous direction. And connect to your breath here. And finding stillness when it's available to you, and swallow any little amounts. Bring yourself back into center. When you are ready, come into a tabletop position, tucking your toes, making sure that your hands are under your shoulders, making sure that your hips are hip-width distance apart, and doing some cat-cows here. Inhaling cow, exhaling cat. Doing this at your own pace, getting to know your body. Noticing any thoughts or sensations that may or may not arise. And just meeting yourself right where you are in this moment. Finding stillness when it's available to you. Making sure that your toes are tucked here and your hips are aligned and your shoulders are over your wrist. Bring your left hand to your heart, extending and shining your left hand up to the sky. And slowly tucking your left hand under your right arm, bringing your left ear to your mat. Extending your right hand out in front of you. And begin to connect to your fullest breath here, inviting in compassion at this time. Bringing your awareness back to your breath, making sure that you're able to breathe your fullest breath here in this moment. And slowly sliding your right hand beside your face, pushing into your right hand, coming into a tabletop position, making sure that your toes are tucked and your hips are aligned, and your shoulders are over your wrist. Bringing your right hand to your heart and extending your right hand to the sky, tucking your right hand under your left arm, extending your left arm out in front of you, threading the needle here and connecting to your breath, making sure that you're able to breathe your fullest breath here, inviting in compassion. Slowly sliding your left hand to be beside your face, pushing into your left hand, coming back into a tabletop position. Begin to bring big toes together to touch, and slowly extending and lengthening through the fingertips, coming into a child's pose, taking gentle rocks from side to side, and connecting to your breath. Inviting in compassion. You are worthy of compassion. And finding stillness if it's available to you at this time. When you are ready, begin to walk your hands towards you, tucking your toes and pushing into your hands, pushing into thumb and index finger, coming into down dog, walking out your dog, and connecting to your breath. And if it's available to you, find stillness, having a slight bend to your knees and energetically feeling your heels draw towards your mat. Breathing your fullest breath here, inviting in compassion. Begin to hover your knees, coming into a tabletop position, but allowing your knees to hover. Walking your hands back, coming into a Malasana squat, taking gentle rocks from side to side, opening the hips and massaging the belly. Getting to know your body, noticing any sensations, maybe moving slower. And when you are ready, placing palms together and finding stillness. Extending your right hand beside you, placing your left hand on your heart, and slowly extending and stretching and shining your hands to the sky. And connect to your breath here. Getting to know your body and inviting in compassion. Slowly bringing palms back together to touch and opposite side. Placing your left hand beside you, bringing your right hand to your heart and extending and lengthening your right hand behind you and connecting to your breath here. Getting to know your body and inviting in compassion. You are worthy of compassion. Bringing palms together to touch and finding stillness. Placing your hands on your mat and begin to walk out your hands, walking your hands forward, coming into a plank position, engaging your core, running through the shoulders, and slowly begin to find your way to lie down on your mat, coming down to your forearms and allowing the knees to fall towards each other and connect to your breath. When you are ready, begin to bring your knees to your chest, placing your hands on your knees and extending your arms out into a T, twisting to your left. And your gaze can go over your right shoulder, breathing your fullest breath here and inviting in compassion. If it's available to you, place your left hand on your right thigh, connecting to your breath here. I invite you to come back into center, extending your hands out into a T, twisting to the right. If it's available to you, place your right hand on your left thigh and connect to your fullest breath here, inviting in compassion. When you are ready, bring knees to chest and placing your hands on your knees. And begin to extend your right leg out in front of you, flexing your right foot. Placing your left hand on your foot, ankle, or shin. Bringing your left leg close to you. Making sure that you're able to breathe your fullest breath here. Getting to know your body, inviting in kindness and compassion. Noticing any thoughts or sensations, maybe moving your leg out and moving your leg back in. And finding stillness when you are ready. Coming back into center, bringing knees to chest, placing your hands on your knees. And opposite side, extending your left leg out in front of you, flexing your left foot. And maybe your right hand comes to your right foot, ankle, or shin. Extending your left arm out into a T. Getting to know your body, noticing that this side might feel a little bit different from the other side. Moving your foot in and out. And finding stillness if it's available to you. I invite you to bring both of your knees to your chest and extend your hands out into a T. Maybe placing your hands on your knees, doing some hip circles here. And connecting breath to movement. Inhaling in and exhaling out at your own pace. When you are ready, coming back into center, extending your arms out into a T and giving yourself a hug here. Inviting in compassion. Knowing that you are worthy of compassion. Slowly extending your arms out into a star, coming into Shavasana. and connect to your fullest breath here. When you are ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, inviting you to roll out your wrists and ankles and roll onto whatever side that feels intuitive to you. Slowly coming up into a seated position, placing your hands beside you, inhaling in and exhaling out. Inhaling, sweeping the hands up and over your head, lengthening through the fingertips, slowly bringing palms to touch. Bringing your hands to your third eye, thanking yourself for your inner knowing. Bringing your hands to your mouth, inhaling. Your voice deserves to be heard in this world. Bring your hands to your heart, thanking yourself for showing up for you on today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. Have a beautiful day.